we were originally contacted by a Manchester City blue badge holder a month or two ago. And he said that Manchester City had gone from an old position of not charging blue badge holders to park if disabled fans are going to see City at the Etihad, to charging them effectively £12 a match. Yeah, it worked out. I think it's something like £220 a year. And then there was complaints from the Manchester City Disabled Fans Organisation, and City sort of backtracked, and they said, right, we'll introduce it in two phases. So it'll be £112, and then it's going to double in 25, 26. And I think the argument which we put forwards, or rather the argument that the club had put forwards, was that some matches, 50% of the car park spaces were unused. People were abusing the system. So that was the club's solution. And it looked like a very clunky solution, which just happened to be raising a bit of money. I think the City Disabled Fans Organisation, and I think we suggested something similar as well. It's a bit like the position you now have with many restaurants, because of no-shows. If you book a table, they take a £25 deposit per person. If you don't turn up, you lose your deposit. And I think fair play to City. They've tried to take all of the credit for this, which I think is a bit disingenuous of them. But ultimately, they have now done the right thing. And if you want to book a place, you pay a £6 deposit. If you turn up to the match, you get your £6 back. That's great. We also saw some issues with Aston Villa last week as well, and there was a lot of unhappiness with regards to the pricing for the Champions League matches. And again, I think this is we're not cynical, as we've often said, but the cynic in me thinks this is pretty disingenuous by the club as well. A couple of days after the announcement of charging fans up to £97, and that includes juniors as well in certain areas of the ground, charging up to £97 to watch Villa in the Champions League. Villa had said they were going to double car parking charges for blue badge fans from £190 to £380. And people like Stan Collymore, he was very angry about this, and it did go into the newspapers. And then the club did a U-turn. Then the club backed down. It says, right, we're going to reverse that. We're still going to charge £190. So they've done the right thing-ish. I still think it's ridiculous that for people who don't have the option. You and I have the option as to how we go to a match. I can get a bus, I can get a train, I can drive and pay parking. I can even cycle if I want to. But if I'm a disabled fan, those options are not available to me. So I still think it's what Villa are doing is harsh. And we also said, when we originally raised the issue on the show, that Manchester United, and I was contacted by a Manchester United fan on this, Manchester United have increased their charges for disabled fans from £260 to £333. So it was a 20% increase. That's £17.50 a game. So rather than just have a moan about it, we did contact the club, and to be fair, the club responded on a Sunday afternoon, and I'm now going to give you verbatim the position of Manchester United. There is no change in our position. In terms of background on this, we have previously consulted with disabled fans and campaign groups on this issue, and the clear consensus was that disabled fans want to be treated equally with non-disabled fans, not as charity cases. We think it is the right approach to charge for disabled parking places as we do for all other fans. So that is the INEOS position. That is the Jim Ratcliffe position with regards to that.